what most people don't seem to realise is that alcohol is actually a poison.
I've got my pop who's got dementia from drinking.
It's like we learnt a long time ago that smoking kills people, you know, and we're learning more and more about the effects that alcohol is having on people as well.
Every time I go to see him, he doesn't recognise who I am anymore.
The alcohol issue that's most important to me as a person who works at the Cancer Council is the link between cancer and alcohol. There's different cancers that are linked to alcohol. In men, there is convincing evidence that it is linked to bowel cancer, and in women, breast cancer.
We have a mannequin which has all the body parts on it. So we took the young people through just how does alcohol affect every part of the body, right through from the skin to every body organ, as the skin is also an organ. And that gave them an idea of the short-time effect and the long-term effect of any alcohol use on the body.
Alcohol can affect the way the brain works, specifically the way that the brain develops. And because of that effect on the brain, you might see changes in mood or behaviour. Some other things you might see in the short term is changes in decision making and maybe some loss of coordination.
One of the very favourite ones we do is called beer goggles. And look, we've got 6 different ones. Put them on. Right, now there's many of you and many of the camera. That's the daytime binge drinking beer goggle. And the reason we do that is so that anybody can get an actual experience of what it's like to be just over the legal limit, to be mid-range as well as binge drinking.
You can't catch that ball. Do you want to pick it up?
No.
Just be careful though. You're right.
Yeah, watch the cameras. We'll incorporate that with having them walk around to support each other, to try and find keys if they've lost them on the floor. So we engage them in activities that would be lifelike if they did use their alcohol. How many balls are there?
In the long term too, you can also see changes maybe to the body's organs, so to the heart, the liver and the pancreas.
What is most concerning for us is that there's a disproportionate amount of harm. Specifically around alcohol, we're going to see accidents and injuries that might have occurred while they're intoxicated.
Well, energy drinks are getting to be a bit of a problem in this area because we see a lot of kids in here who have very high pulse rates.
Energy drinks are uppers and alcohol is a downer.
And it raises your heart rate. In the long run, it's no good for your heart.
So mixing the two together, they have the effects kind of counteract each other.
So you're actually going up and down, which again is no good for your body. But if you keep just drinking energy drinks and then having binge drinking of alcohol as well, yeah, you'll do a lot of damage.
I'd certainly say just think about it. Alcohol's not the only way of socialising. The higher the intake, the higher the risk.
The advice that we would give is that it's best to hold off until you're 18. Research shows that if we delay the onset of alcohol use, then there's going to be less harms associated in the long term.
If you are going to go out and drink, don't start with alcohol. Start with soft drinks, water or juice or something like that. And then when you do start drinking alcohol, then alternate your drinks.
So every second drink, maybe have a water or a soft drink. So if you're, on the dance floor or socialising, things like that, maybe set limits on your drinking.
You might drink your whole life and smoke your whole life and not die because of drinking or smoking, but that is unlikely. If you are involved in these activities, then that is likely to contribute towards your poor health and also potentially death that may come earlier than it should. Sometimes when people are making the choices about drinking or smoking or whatever, they don't necessarily know what else their life is to hold, so like, having kids or you know, you may not think of that at the time as a young person. It's all about party, 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 or, you know, keeping up with, you know, so-and-so, or, you know, not looking, you know, like you're the odd one out or whatever. Then, but what you've done is just, you know, increased your risk of the negative impacts of drinking, such as cancer.